Sort of hung around. I mean, they're not among the elite teams, but they're not that far off the pace either.
No, I think they're satisfied, Clark, with where they are right now because they're in decent position, as they move forward. And this is all about just surviving the marathon in the NBA. Such a long season.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Crawford out there with Jason Kidd. Then there's Pekovic. Then it's Smith. And it's Carter in at the small forward position. And for Boston, they've got Andrew Bynum. Douglas Roberts is out there with Blair. Then it's Lawson. And it's Thompson in at the shooting guard. For the Raptors, they come in off the loss to the Pacers in Indiana.
Well, they heaved up a lot of ill-advised three-pointers in that loss. Guys, they were way too trigger-happy from downtown.
Yeah, and that's not the area on the court where you want to be forcing shots from. Heck, you were a great three-point shooter, and you know that, Steve.
Yeah, it comes and goes, but you can't just rely on that when things aren't going your way.
And here's Kidd from the arc, and the basket good. Kidd's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Lawson against Kidd, taken away by Kidd. And here we go with Kidd heading to the hoop. Pekovic throws down the breakaway jam.
That was a hole punch jam there, Kevin.
Nice finish.
Yeah, you got to love the way he just capped off that strong move.
You know, throughout the history of the NBA, the Celtics have been such a constant presence in the postseason that it's hard to imagine the playoffs without seeing the green. Every year the players change, but the Celtics mystique is always in it, and that team is always hanging around.
Blair can't hit. The Raptors have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Outside Carter. Rebound Boston. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
And guys, had their free throw shooting been anywhere near up to par, I think it would have changed everything in that game.
No doubt about it. I mean, there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line. It infiltrates other parts of your game.
Here's Smith after the made shot from Andrew Bynum. Here's Crawford. Pekovic buries the 7-footer. Pekovic has got 6. We'll go to Dorisburg, who spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. What's the news, Doris?
He'll be facing one of the towering post presences of the game in Andrew Bynum. Coach said, you know he's getting so much more aggressive looking for his shot inside. He can finish right over the top of you. As with any big guy like him, it starts with getting a low base and trying to keep him out as far as you can. Then offensively, you've got to be ready to drop it off when he rotates to block the shot. Guys, we'll see if they can make the right adjustments.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Carter with the 3. Oh, that's blocked. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Lawson's got the ball. He dishes it to Douglas Roberts. Over Crawford. Can't tie it up as that one misses. The Raptors have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Now the pass to Carter. Outside Kidd. Takes the 3. Good on the shot. Kidd's got 6.
Well, he can shoot the 3. We know that. But I'm not sure the D does. I mean, they weren't anywhere near him on that possession.
Bynum. He's covered by Kidd. Bynum, no good.
Well, you look at Andrew Bynum, his first All-Star appearance last season, started at center for the West, and it was well-deserved. He's become one of the dominant centers in the league at both ends of the floor.
Lawson drives in. It's blocked. Smith right side. Kicks it to Kidd. Kicks it out to Crawford. And the Raptors hit again from deep. And for Andrew Bynum, when he's played, he's been pretty good. A game changer defensively with very good scoring ability on the low block. I think there's a maturity question there, Clark. But aside from that, the tools are certainly there.
Yeah, he's got major skill and excellent hands. The issue for him has been injury, though. And if he can stay healthy and continue to grow up, he'll be a force for a long time.
And a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. A new group in now for the Raptors. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Pekovic. Wallace comes in for Josh Smith. White is checked in for Vince Carter. And Nate Robinson is subbed in for Jason Kidd. White against Douglas. And it's White missing. Celtics trail by 10.
You look at Doc Rivers, head coach of the Celtics, 6'4", strong point guard in his playing days, drafted out of Marquette. He was the first pick in the second round by the Atlanta Hawks, and still holds the franchise record for assists.
Wallace misses.
couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Boy, what a fantastic opening quarter for them.
Yeah, it sure has been. Look at the lead they've jumped out to already. Impressive.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
And, you know, getting back to the playing career of Doc Rivers, guys, 13 seasons, an all-star in 1988. Never won a title, but of course he remedied that, coaching the Celtics to the championship back in 2008.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Michael Redd's checked in for Nocioni. And it's Klay Thompson in for Tony Douglas. Robinson for three. That's good.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yep, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Now here's Collison. And Drummond throws it down.
There's one thing about the alley-oop. You can't fire the pass in there. You've got to have some air under that pass. It needs a little hang time.
That's exactly right. A lot of finesse, just like that one was. Perfectly thrown.
And that's what makes the play so much fun to watch. There's finesse on the front end, but then power on the end.
Gets it to go.
They still have a lot of time to get back into this game, but they've got to do a better job of limiting the second chance points. A little added hang time right there.
Yeah, letting himself down easy, it looks like.
Soft landing.
Yeah, a little better for the knees, so I don't blame him.
And so here's Toronto. It's a 10-point game. Here's Robinson, and that one's good. Robinson's got 5 points so far.
They've been dominant in the paint. That's how they've built this early lead.
Well, they're piling it on in there. I mean, that's where all their points are coming from, in the paint area.
Collison with it. Robinson picks him up. He kicks it to Thompson. Inside. Here's Udo. A rebound by Carter. Now, here is Robinson. He has 5. It's tipped. Udo dishes to Collison. Launches it. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. The Raptors. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And for the Raptors, this has been the game they wanted to have.
Yeah, this team is on the same page, no question. They're right where they need to be offensively.
And they're hitting their scores with on-time and on-target passes, too. That's fun to watch.
Boston out there with Tony Douglas. Then there's Nocioni. Then it's CDR, and it's Blair in at the center position. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, guys, DeAndre Jordan, one of the premier shot blockers in the game. He's trying to learn all the tricks of the trade, waiting to jump until after the ball is released. Also, he said, I'm working on blocking to keep the ball in bounds or blocking to a teammate, like Bill Russell did. Guys, there's no question, despite his success, Jordan still has a lot of untapped potential.
Unlimited potential, Doris. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's still rounding out his game. He has all the physical tools you could want, but it's just a matter of continuing to put in the work.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Andrew Bynum's checked in for Blair. Udo comes in for Nocioni. Michael Redd's checked in for Chris Douglas-Roberts. And it's Klay Thompson in for Tony Douglas. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Into Smith. That's good.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
The shot's good from Bynum.
Outstanding job there to absorb the contact and guide it in.
That's how you impose your will against the defender. He came to play.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Drummond's checked in for Udo. Elliott Williams comes in for Klay Thompson. And it's Collison in for Ty Lawson. We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Williams against Smith. It's taken away by Smith. The finish, and then Carter with the dunk.
Not stop. No way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice.
Well, while we have a second, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a list of the league's top shooters from last season. In the third spot, Pekovic. Fourth, Andrew Bynum.
Yeah, it was a nightmare last year for any defender to guard these guys. I mean, they just seemed to hit everything they shot.
Now here's Williams. They get the rebound. And it's Drummond missing. Smith inside. He's guarded by Williams. And it's Smith missing. And stolen by Wallace. Gets it to go. And the Raptors lead by 13.
They got the ball into the ideal position, and he didn't flub to finish that time, guys.
Back to Red. Takes a three. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Even against solid defense, he's still going to try to continue to make that shot.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I wouldn't bet against him in that situation next time.
Tracy McGrady's checked in for J.R. Smith. The Celtics have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Deft touch on the alley-oop.
The alley-oop pass right into the layup. Outstanding play that time.
Absolutely. The technique couldn't have been any better.
Well, that's two guys who really love playing together, and it shows on that play.
And Drummond throws it down.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
Here's Wallace. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
You know, we'll see what happens here. You got to be aware that's your second foul. The question is, do you keep him on the floor or not?
Some changes for Boston. Blair comes in for Drummond, and Chris Douglas-Roberts subbed in for Elliott Williams.
Well, let's take a look at where Boston ended up, Kevin, last year in the league rankings. Second in assists, fifth in field goal percentage. And they showed up in the top 5 in free throw shooting. This is a team that took advantage of getting to the line.
And the key really to that club, in my mind, was the offensive unselfishness. This was a team, as you mentioned, Clark, that finished in the top 5 in assists per game. So it was the fact that they really shared the ball. They had good ball movement and a good plan of attack all season long.
Ty Lawson, he's checked in for Michael Redd. Pekovic checks in for the Raptors.
Well, Tracy McGrady early in his career was a superstar, a two-time scoring champion. Nowadays, more of a complimentary player, but definitely an effective one.
Celtics making a switch here. Douglas is checked in. Wallace kicks to Robinson. Back to Wallace. Raptors moving the ball around. Robinson, that's good. Robinson's got 7 points. Talking about McGrady, some teams were ambivalent about, signing him because they weren't sure he'd be willing to accept a lesser role.
Well, I think he's proven that wasn't the case. He has accepted a lesser role. His ability to handle and create for others is always an asset you'd like to have on the team. And he can definitely be effective setting the table for his teammates. So, to his credit, he's accepted where he is and has helped his team.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, for the last 2 seasons, the Boston Celtics have been the worst offensive rebounding team in the league by percentage. They were 3rd worst in 2010. You might think it's by design, that they're more focused on transition defense. But according to Doc Rivers, that's not the case. That's been one of the biggest misunderstandings about our team. We've always told our bigs, if you're under the basket and we shoot, how about going to get it? Guys, the numbers don't lie.
Doris, being a jump shooting team, probably less chances, but that's their identity. Here's Kidd after the basket by Boston for 3, and again Toronto with the triple. 1:32 left to play here in the half, and the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That's foul number 2 for him. Udo's checked in for the Celtics. Klay Thompson comes in for Tony Douglas. The Raptors also with a sub. Jordan's checked in, and Thompson kicks to Douglas-Roberts. Goes up. It's hauled in by DeAndre Jordan.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Yeah, he went for a little extra on that one.
Well, he usually doesn't finish soft. Obviously, he can when necessary, sure, but not that time.
Not when he can throw it down like that.
Now, here is Lawson. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Now a timeout called by Boston. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
And I'll tell you what, even though they looked like the better team a year ago, they only managed a split of the season series.
Andrew Bynum's checked in for Boston. And the Raptors also making a change. Vince Carter, he's checked in for White. Thompson passes to Bynum. Can't get it to go. So the Raptors will take it the other way. Clark, if you don't make the playoffs and a team you handled all right does, I mean, that gives you a little confidence that you can be among those 8 seeds next time around.
Kevin, I think it should give you some confidence. I'm sure both teams have that as their goal, getting to the playoffs. And they've shown us some great games in the past when they've met up. This should be a lot of fun.
Udo gets the bucket.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for them. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen.
So it's the Celtics now, after the Raptors pick up 2.
The defense caught dozing off that time.
Yeah, those open dunks, pretty high percentage.
Yeah, you're not going to miss many of those. I mean, this is really a poor defensive effort. Smart foul there. Make him earn those 2 free throws instead of giving up an easy dunk.
Yeah, and he's not a strong free throw shooter. I mean, with his percentage, he's likely to miss one, so that's a good heads-up play.
Boston making some changes. Elliott Williams checks in for Bynum, and it's Collison in for Ty Lawson. J.R. Smith's checked in for Toronto. Now here's Williams. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Williams has got his first bucket in this one. The dish to Smith. Launches a 3. Good, in the assist to Kidd. Kidd's got 6 assists now in the game.
And there he goes. He didn't get a 3 in the first, but starting to look for it here.
Now Collison. 9 points last game. Good. Williams has got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, they answered that three-pointer right back.
It is raining threes in here now, boys.
For 3, Smith. And again, Toronto with the triple. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Raptors lead by 19. Make sure you stay tuned for this.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And welcome, everyone. Damon Bruce here. We've got a blowout going on in Boston. The Raptors are making it look easy so far. They're off to a hot start this season. They'd like to continue that hot streak in this game. We've seen Jason Kidd in top form. He's picked up half a dozen points, and as usual, he's been handing out a lot of assists. On the other side, the Celtics have not gotten off to a good start. They've got to do a better job protecting the ball and valuing each possession. They've not done that. Their turnover numbers way too high through 2 quarters. The first half, a letdown for Darren Collison. Miscue after miscue. It's a comedy of errors, but his teammates aren't laughing. Let's get things going with a look ahead to some games slated for later. For the Grizzlies.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Celtics trailed by 19. And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Carter is out there with Smith. Then it's Jason Kidd. And there's Bekovic. And it's Crawford at the 2 guard.
Well, and you can't let them get deep position.
Yeah, you got to do your work early here, Steve, and you got to be physical with them.
Outside for Kidd. Over Lawson. Kidd, no good.
Would have been lucky to knock that shot down.
Yeah, that kind of shot will definitely get you the high eyebrows from the coach and maybe get you a seat on the bench, too.
Raptors leading by 17.
Josh Smith has that small forward's frame, but his strength and explosiveness make him more than a capable power forward. Sometimes it seems like he'd prefer to play small forward, but I think he's most effective around the basket using that explosive leaping ability and those long arms.
And Vince Carter picks up a foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Here is Lawson, looking for his first bucket of the game. Taken away by Kidd.
Clever, crafty defense. He saw that pass coming before it was even made.
Crawford's shot is good.
I'm not sure which was better, the fast break or the steal that got it started.
I think it was the defense, Steve, quite honestly. I mean, the whole play isn't even possible if he doesn't make the steal.
And Josh Smith has been fond of playing on the perimeter. Has looked to keep his weight down to enable Clark that versatility.
Well, there's nothing atypical about that, Kevin. Nowadays, a lot of big guys want to face up, and the game is such with the three-point line and athletic fours that can shoot it that you need to be able to do that at that position. I think his shooting stroke is what prevented him from really being able to excel at both the small forward and power forward position.
Good foul there defensively. Make him earn 2 points from the line.
I agree with you. I mean, no freebies. Don't give anybody an easy opportunity. Make good use of your foul there.
Well, the biggest thing with Blair is his size. You know, he's just a rebounder. He's a screener. He's a guy who can really impose his physical will on the game.
Well, he's got that tremendous scrapping ability as well, guys. And as soon as the ball is loose, ball pops up around him, he just wrestles it away from anyone who's foolish enough to try to get it from him. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Jason Kidd, really not a big scorer, but he's developed into a very good three-point shooter. And then, of course, he does everything else. Passes, rebounds, steals, defends. And he's a great leader in the locker room as well. One of the key components to this club.
And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Bynum tries again, and Smith with the block. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. Tries for the alley-oop. Lays it in off a pretty alley-oop.
And another quick strike for them. No question which team is running the fast break better here today.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been lethal in transition, Steve. It's one of the reasons they're out in front.
Lawson drives in, and it's blocked. Fast break, Toronto. Crawford kicks to Carter.
And it has been total domination on their part.
Yeah, they haven't put the parking brake on at all. They're continuing to go full throttle and pile up the points.
Lawson dishes to Thompson. Over Carter. Thompson with the bucket. Thompson's got 10 points in the game.
And, Steve, you know this. I mean, you love a guy who can impact the game without taking a lot of shots. I mean, Jason Kidd was a great pickup for the Mavs and a big reason why they won a title in 2011.
Lawson with it. He's picked up by Kidd. Pass to Thompson. Lets it fly. They get it back. Here's Blair. Here's Douglas Roberts. And finally, that one's good. Douglas Roberts has got his first points in this one.
And a really poor job boxing out there, guys. A momentary lapse in concentration, I think.
Carter kicks to Kidd. Fires from deep. Scooped up. Smith outside. Over Blair. Here's Pekovic. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. It's on Andrew Bynum. The Raptors shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. First free throw is good. And a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here's Douglas. Dishes to Drummond. Now the feed to Nocioni. Over Crawford. Toronto grabs the miss. Kidd's got his third rebound tonight. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
And I would think a lot of attention will be focused on that Orlando contest.
Outstanding communication between the passer and the receiver that time.
Yeah, the timing and placement were spot on. You're right.
Yeah, with just a smooth finish, too.
Michael Redd's checked in for Boston. The Raptors also with a sub. Smith is checked in. Redd passes to Collison. Back to Redd. And that one's good.
Now they've got to offer more resistance inside. Just too many easy buckets in the paint.
Yeah, Stephen, that's the top priority for any defense. You got to protect the paint. You know, the defense that time was just content to stay out of the way. I mean, no resistance at all. They let him do exactly what he wanted to right
yeah.
there.
Steve, no one looked too anxious to take him on.
No, you know, guys, I think that speaks to his strength and his agility. I mean, he's not a guy you want to stand in the way of as a defender.
And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
Well, he was boxed out, and when that happens, at some point you have to just turn and get back defensively. That time he went right over the top.
Yeah, but you go straight on the top of another player's back, that's going to be a foul call every time.
Klay Thompson, he's checked in for the Celtics. Lawson comes in for Darren Collison. The Raptors also with a sub. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Vince Carter. The Celtics shooting here in the early goings of the second half has been off 25%. Udoh gets the bucket.
Good job creating an easy bucket there.
Raptors shooting a magnificent 69% in this game. Crawford kicks to Smith. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Smith's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, he's known for his tendency to get hot in the blink of an eye. You'll forget he's even out there, and then all of a sudden he's dominating the action.
Yeah, he can erupt in a hurry. It makes him a very unpredictable but exciting player. You don't know which version of him you're going to get from minute to minute.
They continue to barrel the...
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play. And that's taking it strong right there.
Yeah, finishing in style.
You can feel a sense of anticipation when he heads for the hoop because that's what he can do.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. The Celtics shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Around a year ago, they converted about 78% of their free throws as a team, so pretty solid there.
Guys, we haven't seen the type of numbers out of them at the line that we'd come to expect, especially after last season.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Bynum comes in for Drummond. And Chris Douglas-Roberts subbed in for Michael Redd. The Raptors making a switch here. Smith is checked in. Howard's down the dunk.
That's what he's all about. That's who he is, retrieving those misses and exploding right back to the bucket.
Prime example of it right there, no question. Good point, Clark.
Yeah, great rebounder and a great finisher, so that's a difficult combination to deal with for the defense.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Here's Lawson. It's hauled in by Smith. Smith's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
Another board for them, and they've got a huge advantage in that regard.
Yeah, it's not really a surprise. I mean, rebounding one of the true barometers in winning basketball games. And if you rebound better, you typically are going to win ball games and do it comfortably. Put that paw up there and banged it home. Man, that was nice.
Little Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
right.
that was strong.
Simple, direct, and effective.
And as we conclude the third quarter.
Next.
As the fourth quarter gets going, let's swing it over to Doris Burke to find out who's had the Sprite uncontainable game. Doris?
And Kevin, the uncontainable game has come from this Raptors bench today. Effort and energy, exactly what they're called upon to provide, is exactly what they've brought to this game. Coach is thrilled with that kind of effort, guys.
Doris, thank you. And what a difference their bench has truly been making here. They really changed up the game.
Well, you know, Kevin, when you have this sort of bench performance, you really throw off the other team's rhythm. You know, you take them out of their normal matchups. All of a sudden, the game changes strategically. And I think you, as a team, kind of gain control of the action.
I couldn't agree with you more, Steve. And credit the coaching staff for seeing and seizing the opportunity here. They mixed up assignments. They moved guys around, off and on the floor, and they got the boost that they needed from them.
A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. On the floor for Boston, they've got Michael Redd, Tony Douglas out there with Elliott Williams. Then there's Nocioni. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. He had a nice open look right there.
Big mistake not having more defensive pressure on him out there.
They get a hand on it. He feeds it to Williams. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. Look now at the Raptors' upcoming schedule. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And here are the Raptors now. Here's McGrady, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assists.
Tell you what, with the three-pointers flowing, this defense is really struggling right now.
Yeah, it's a big differential in points off of threes, and they've got to do a better job of closing out defensively.
And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Boston Celtics. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
You know, I'll be anxious to see what ends up happening with that Spurs game. Should be a good one.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Udo's checked in for Nocioni. And it's Collison in for Tony Douglas. Raptors also changing it up. Charlie Villanueva's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And J.R. Smith's subbed in for Nate Robinson.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
9 straight points for them off of wide open looks from deep. Something has to change for this team.
Yeah, they're just giving up too many easy shots out there. They've got to close out harder, get a hand up, make him put it on the floor.
The Raptors making a switch here. Jordan's checked in. Williams dishes to Collison. Over Smith. Boston, no good that time either. Here's the Raptors with the ball. They're on an 11-3 run. That's good.
Boy, he's been so dependable here this game, really playing well offensively.
Left side Williams, 16 feet away. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
And they needed that hoop to try to stop this run.
They just seem to keep coming up empty. They've got to slow it down and get a good shot.
Well, when you look at DeAndre Jordan, just a tremendous physical talent. Great athleticism, can run, can jump. He's already good, but I think as his skills develop, I mean, he's got the potential to be a great center.
And for DeAndre Jordan, Steve, you mentioned his upside. Right now, almost all his points come across the lane, right around the rim, close in.
Yeah, you'll rarely see him shoot from outside of the restricted arc area, really. I mean, his free throw stroke shows you why. He's got work to do there. How about that basketball, man? Wow. Boy, I like the aggressiveness here, guys. Just powering it down that time.
And descended gradually as he lingered on the rim.
Yeah, you got to be careful, too, guys, because the referees will call a technical pretty easily on that play. He got away with it there.
And that replay sponsored by Sprite, giving us a great look at that one. Feeds it to Smith. Unloads from 9. And the rebound goes to Collison. The Celtics have gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Williams can't get it to go.
I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
White the pass to Smith. Passes it to McGrady. McGrady left side. Can't get it to go. So the Celtics will take it the other way.
It's been a struggle for him offensively tonight, and they'd love to have his production out there.
Red misses.
I thought he'd make that one, and that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
Here's White. Straight up. And the dunk by Jordan.
Well, you can put this one in the W column. I mean, this is locked up now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they closed this game out exactly like they needed to.
It's right outside. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
I don't like his body language, guys, right now. He looks like he's completely out of rhythm.
McGrady outside. Gets it to go. They're not having much success at all right now.
Now, they need to shuffle their lineup a little bit. Try to find a combination that works.
1:22 left in the fourth quarter. The jump hook, and it's Smith that time on the assist by McGrady. And that's now 17 points for J.R. Smith. Outside Williams. He dishes it to Durant. Plenty of room to knock down the shot.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
Raptors shooting in the fourth quarter has been efficient at 56%. McGrady outside. It's Drummond with the rebound.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Tracy McGrady. That is his first foul of the game. Nocioni is checked in for the Celtics. Douglas comes in for Elliott Williams. The Raptors shooting has been just outrageous, 64% from the field to this point. A shot by McGrady, no good. And for the Celtics, they're shooting 43% from the field. The shot by Collison. That's good with a Douglas assist. Toronto's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. A shot by McGrady, no good. Boston's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. And finished off by Collison.
At his size, he can really finish at the rim.
Yeah, and not just layups, as you just saw, folks. Wow.
Unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, able to throw it down with ease.
He dishes it to Douglas. Fires for 3. Rebounded by Tracy McGrady. Outside Jordan, expanding his range. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.